Hello everyone and welcome to Mr.MoFranchise. It's the post-draft off-season. This is the last video before we start Season 2. I am getting excited. I had a couple of new things that Madden doesn't have that I think would be a lot of fun that some other video games have or even Madden has had in the past. So what I have is in this off-season, I have what's called the off-season competition committee meeting. The NBA, the 2K game has this concept where you kind of can change the rules, and I thought this would be neat to have in Madden. And so it says every offseason, the N.F.L. competition committee meets to discuss rules proposals and eventually to vote to approve or deny the proposals. Each year, a D6 will be rolled to see how many proposals will be voted on. Once the quantity is determined, roll a D100 and use the chart to determine the proposals being put forth. Each proposal put forward is voted on by rolling another D100. In order for a rule to pass, the number rolled must be equal to or lower than 25. Thus, a 1 to 25 means the rule passes, while a 26 to 100 means it was rejected. I do that because in the NFL, to pass a rule, it takes 75% approval, and so in my way, I'm sort of ruling that, making it hard because 75% of approval is challenging, so I wanted to make it only a 25% chance to pass. And then I also want to note that if a proposal is approved permanently, and then for some reason that proposal gets brought up again, then the proposal that would be put forth the second time would be trying to change back the rule to the original form. But we'll go over that if that ever happens. For the number of proposals for this offseason, I rolled a 2. And then for the proposal numbers, I rolled a 50 and a 75. So let's look to see what the proposals were. So the first proposal that was brought forward is that this would be a permanent change, and if approved, it would actually stay. And it would have the pass blocking for the user of skill be increased by a D6. And for the roll to pass, I rolled an 87, so the proposal was solidly rejected. And then the other proposal that was put forward was number 75. This would be a permanent change. If approved, it would stay. And it would change the CPU skill. It would say fumbles would be decreased by a D6. And for the roll to pass, I rolled a 95. So that proposal was also solidly rejected. And so while it might seem that like nothing really special happened, so why did I waste the time? You know, there is a chance, a 1 in 4 chance that these proposals could change how the game is played. And I think like the NBA has in their offseason, I wish Madden would have this, like a rules changing committee kind of thing. And there could be lots of things they could propose if they just put their collective thoughts together. I made these ideas just in an hour or two, so I wish Madden moving forward would have these creative things you could do to make the game more interesting. And then for step 2 of the off season, we've got a random event. It says before the new season begins, you need to roll a D20 to see if any off-season events have made an impact on your team. And I rolled a D20, and my roll was a 20. And this says the media wrote a great article about you and your charitable work that you did in the off-season. Increase your media approval rating by a D10 and your fan approval rating by a D20. Well, I wish this would have helped my GM approval rating. Let's take a look at the impact that this made. So I started with the D10 for the media, and I rolled a 2, so now my media approval rating is at a 52. Makes me happy. And then for the fans, I rolled a D20, and I rolled a 1, so I'm up to a 46. But any positive gain is positive gain. So as you can see, I still need to work on the GM and the fans, but I'm thinking with year 2, with these new players, I'm very excited that we can get those approval ratings shooting up as we get more wins for this franchise. Well, that's all I have for this last video of the Season 1 off-season. The next video you will see on this channel is the beginning of Season 2. I am excited, and I hope you are too. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button and tell a friend. Season 2 is about to begin here in Jacksonville. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.